Today, we're starting a new topic in the Coerman class. In the last series, we broke down inflation from 4 different angles: personal, business, political, and economic. This month, we're moving to a subject that affects everyone, just as much, if not more: tax. Tax is one of the few systems that touches every part of life. You feel it when you earn, you see it when you spend, and sometimes you only notice it when it's already gone. Most people experience tax every day, but very few stop to understand what it actually means for them personally. So in this first episode of the new series, we're starting at the most basic level: the personal perspective. No politics, no opinions, no judgments, just clarity. Because before we talk about tax in business, government, or the economy, we need to understand one simple thing first. What does tax mean to you as an individual? At its core, tax is a mandatory contribution you make to the system you live in. It's how governments fund shared structures like roads, healthcare, education, security, and administration. From a personal perspective, tax is not optional and is not negotiable. It's part of participating in society. Think of tax as the price of access. Access to infrastructure, access to legal protection, access to a functioning state. You don't pay tax because you personally use every service. You pay tax because you live within the system that provides them. This is very important to understand because many frustration around tax comes from a mismatch between what people pay and what they feel they receive. Tax is not something that happens once a year. It's woven into everyday life. Let's look at the normal day. You wake up and you go to work. Income tax applies to what you earn. By the end of the day, you've paid tax multiple times, often without seeing it. That invisibility is intentional. When tax is hidden inside prices, it feels less painful than when it's deducted directly from your salary. But psychologically, this creates the feeling that money is constantly leaving, without a clear moment where you understand how much or why. From a personal point of view, taxes usually fall into a few main categories. Income tax. This is tax on your earnings. Salaries are taxed before you even receive them. That's why many people feel income tax the most. You never touch the full amount. Consumption tax, VAT. This is tax on spending. The more you spend, the more tax you pay. Property and wealth-related taxes. Depends on where you live. Owning property assets or savings can trigger additional taxes. Indirect taxes. These are taxes included in products like fuel, alcohol, energy, insurance. From an individual perspective, the key point is this: you are taxed when you earn, when you spend, and sometimes when you own. And that's actually why tax feels constant, because it touches every stage of personal financial life. Tax often feels heavier to individuals than to businesses, and there are a few reasons for that. First, individuals usually have fixed income. When tax rises or prices increase, there's little flexibility. Second, taxes on individuals are often withheld automatically. You don't choose when or how much. And third, individuals don't usually see tax as a tool. They see it as a cost. And finally, individuals feel tax emotionally. People never say, I contributed to public infrastructure today. They say, my salary is too low. And this emotional layer is very important. Not because it's wrong, but because it shapes behavior. It actually affects how people save, spend, work, and plan for the future. Whether conscious or not, tax influences personal choices. It actually affects how many hours people are willing to work. It affects whether people prefer employment or self-employment. So actually this episode isn't about liking or disliking tax, it's about awareness. Because when you understand how tax affects you personally, you move from frustration to clarity. You will stop asking, why is everything so expensive? And you will start asking, how does the system work around me? Awareness doesn't change tax laws, but it changes how you react to them. And reaction shapes outcomes. So let's end this episode with a few simple questions. Do you know how much tax you actually pay in a year? Not just on income, but on spending? Do you think about tax before making financial decisions or only after? And most importantly, do you see tax as something happening to you or something happening around you? In the next episode, we'll shift perspective. We will look at tax from a business angle, where tax is not just a cost, but a strategic variable. Thanks for watching. My name is Remco Coerman, and this is the Coerman class, Finance and Business School, sponsored by Epic Edges. See you in the next episode.